Our homes were burned. Our families displaced or worse. We needed a hero. She was our hero.
We were oppressed. Pressed to our limits. Beaten and exhausted. When we had no champion, he became our champion.
Hello, and welcome to Jarviskjir Horn of Plenty. It's a little naked right now. Let's put a little music on. Okay. Hello. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi, Dean. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Wait, were you asking us how we were doing, or the viewers how they were doing?
We know I care about both.
There's no question.
I care about you, who filter feed entertainment through my stream, and I care about the viewers who give me money and ego.
In that order is how you value that.
I'm sensible. I'm good. I guess
How are you, Ollie?
I'm good.
Sorry, I'm just trying to upload youtube.com/MathasGames video today. That's all.
Wow.
Your advertisements come at the end, Dean cuts forth.
Yeah, but my advertisements come at the beginning, so settle down, kids at home.
Yeah, Ollie always
Just
comes
like a
first.
man.
And proud. If you checked out that trailer at the beginning, because I flashed it in front of your face, you should absolutely check out the Schism Kickstarter. If you don't have the funds to support it, you should get the noise out to everyone about it. Anyone that you know that likes board games or painting miniatures or cool-ass fantastical stories, because it's all of those. Also, you should really follow the Arcanist Entertainment Twitter to stay abreast of the situations as they unfold, and that is that. Now we can get to the real shit, pretending to be people on Minotaur Island. And Ian's a tree.
Anywhere
Day
but
3 on
America.
Minotaur Island.
Minotaur Island. Okay, so last week, well, for like kind of last 2 weeks, for the last indiscriminate time period, you've been actually traveling to the city of Shinebank. You've kind of run out of resources in your small little village of Cornucopia that's pretty cut off from the world. So you've started headed towards one of the two big cities on this continent, the Minotaur city of Shinebank. Over the last couple of weeks, you're there. We pretty much ended last week with you climbing down the mountain and being able to see Shinebank on the horizon, and that's where we continue today. After fighting gnolls, raiding up the mountains. A very dramatic fight, I may say, and avoiding gnomish weapons of war. You finally are on the home stretch towards Shinebank. But this city might not be as safe a place as Cornucopia or Balcutta. As you're approaching it, you can see the sea, which isn't strange, isn't new to any of you, but might be, sort of heartwarming to see the horizon stretch out before you and the ice floats that form in the sea and the sort of craggy, rocky shores. Before you, and that kind of stretches around east and south, is the sort of main road that you avoided taking. Not a paved road or anything, just a hoof-beaten path like the ones you've actually taken, but one that isn't over a mountain. And you can kind of rejoin that, in a sense, while climbing down the mountain, and head towards Shinebank. Is there anything you'd like to do sort of before you get there, before I start describing it proper, and start talking for like half an hour and not being able to stop?
We'll have rested, right?
Yeah, it's been a little while.
All right.
Laura will have continued to work out during downtime, if that matters at all.
It's good to know.
I think we have 1,120 gold and 6 healing potions on the sleigh.
You do.
We are entering a city. I think it would be a good thing to distribute them among us rather than leave them on the sleigh, where they may get stole.
Okay.
Yes, Neil. Very good, Neil. Thank you.
I think it's sensible,
Leader Neil.
but I'm not part of the party.
How much gold?
1,120 divided by 4. I just did times by 4 because, I'm suffering. 280 each.
280 gold each. What a nice little nest egg. You can buy some souvenirs while you're in the
Some
city.
candy. And we also have 6 healing pots. I think 2 should go to Spearfish.
Wait, what? We have what?
6 healing
Six healing.
potions. He simplified to pots. because
Yeah.
he Plays
I
mobs.
played World of Warcraft. Okay, I did.
I'll take.
I don't know. That one always breaks my brain. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think you should take 2.
Because
I'll take
pot
one.
doesn't sound like the beginning of potion.
Yeah.
We should really be calling them potions.
Yeah. 6 posh.
Oh, there's a
Down
tasty
for that.
little hoot you got there.
Hey,
It's
bro,
a little
pass it back.
Bradley
Am
Oni.
I right?
So Dean's taken 2. I've taken 1.
I've taken 1.
That
Okay,
means
so
you're gonna have
there's 2.
one extraneous one, right? If everyone has
Yes.
1, but Dean has 2, so where's that extra one gonna go?
To me, I only have 1, so I'll end up with 3.
Yeah, okay, you take 2 then.
I thought Belle should probably have the 2, right?
Lovely. Now, there are cold weather potions and a golden fur on there, but I say we leave them because the golden fur is unlikely to get stolen because you'll have to kill a wolf to get it. The pots are much easier to snaffle away without a wolf being why does the wolf care? But you're taking that
I
glass.
think we should sell those things and get more gold. And buy
Yeah. He's just trying to work out what you can leave on the sleigh when you get like stables.
Say
or
we
something.
go into an inn or we stable the sleigh, and the wolf probably not in the same stables as other creatures. But you know what I mean?
One of the first
wolf
plans
probably
is to
hangs
sell.
with us.
I ain't letting no wolf come into my shop.
Yeah,
Oi,
she wait.
no wolves. And no
There is
trees.
long history of people screwing over the stable hand in Jarviskjir. Okay. With that
Distribution done.
yeah,
Oh,
with
boy.
that
Communism is going.
with that communism out of the way, we can head towards an incredibly capitalist city. I mentioned last week that when you started seeing Shinebank from the distance, you could immediately see its walls, which I think would be one of the biggest takeaways, you know. The only city or town or settlement you've been to that has walls is Clearkeep, and that doesn't really count because it's kind of built into the rock. Coming from this angle, which is a sort of south woods, south side of the city, Shinebank is nestled up against a mountain, as everything is in Mother's Horn. But there's just this long stone wall that stretches all around it with keeps that dot all over it. It's incredibly protected. Okay. I don't want no little chuckle nuts over here. Misbehaving.
I'm trying to.
He's trying. He's trying, ladies and gentlemen. But that would be quite impressive as you approach. And even from afar, you can see the size of the buildings, even though from here they're mostly capped with snow and it's dappled and it's hard to tell the specifics. But because you are coming from above, you do actually get a bit of a view. You can kind of see the districts of the city, larger buildings towards the north, and the large docks. You can see a lot of ships. They're little bobbing blobs on the horizon for you, but you can see a lot of ships, which is interesting. And you can kind of work out the route that ships would have to take out as well, because there's kind of a different color in the water because they've cleared away a lot of the harsh rocks that would scrape up the underside of boats, right? As you approach Shinebank proper, as you approach the wall, you can see sort of the satellite communities that make up it. This is very much one of those things where they have stone walls as well, but instead of being this great, like, huge thing made of massive slabs, there's like, okay, rustic stone stacked atop of each other to give a degree of protection from bandits and wolves and things. These communities are pretty basic, more like what you've seen Minotaur do in Balcutta and things. On the south side of what is essentially a moat made out of the jagged rock that separates Shinebank from the rest of the continent. It seems to be mostly natural, probably a little bit of an assistance with like earth mages and just straight up chipping away, because there's a river that crisscrosses down that kind of passes this south gate of Shinebank. And you can see Minotaur fishing, growing things along the river, but the main thing that you see a lot of people doing is using what are essentially oyster cages and for similar mollusks. This is just a very good area for that, and so you can see people bringing them up, checking them, you know, filtering them, sort of weighing them, that sort of thing, having them all in baskets and getting ready for the for selling them. This satellite community before the main gate has quite clearly you know, a general store for travelers out, stables, a couple of small huts for the people who are doing that kind of duties and things like that. And then there's the gate. Over the moat is a quite nice, but still quite rustic stone bridge, quite wide. There is a tavern/inn that sits on this bridge. It's kind of built half onto the bridge, half onto this side of the moat. And then beyond that is just a real impressive gate. Mostly stone, little bit of wood, kept clear of the snow. That whole bridge has been kept clear of the snow. And remember, it's winter in an incredibly northern continent. Snow's everywhere. And you can already see guards in front of the gate, guards in the towers. It's got, like, literal keeps either side. Actually, this one only has one keep. The gate on the other side of the city has two. Because this is a little bit less of a threat, this side of the world. It's just fucking farmers. So, coming into the outskirts of Shinebank, with your sleigh and your wolf and your supplies, what would you like to do? It would be sort of noonish, you know. Of course, seeing an inn and smelling the warm food coming from within might make you want to retire early for the day. But
yeah, Valara does that thing where she starts levitating with her feet out behind her and just like gliding on a stream of stew smell.
You smell stew and you smell beer. Good beer.
Oh yeah, there's probably like crazy breweries and this is the biggest city
You can
on
see
Mother's Horn, isn't it?
It's the biggest city. It's the second biggest, but
Okay.
it was the most civilized. So it has the most
commerce.
It has factories. You could see them as you were approaching by the docks. That would be just massive breweries. There's actually a whole island dedicated to like distilleries and stuff. Right. This has a lot of those worked goods. There is another city that you would know just from your knowledge of the world. Both you and Amaryllis know, called Udar. That is in the middle of Mother's Horn, which is way further north, and is kind of a big trading and melting pot for all the nomadic communities. Shinebank is a trading port for Mother's Horn and the rest of the world, mostly the mainland of Jarviskjir. So...
Did you remember to make me host, Dolly?
Yes!
Sorry to
You
interrupt.
did, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Did you
still...
remember to make me host?
I did. It's still eating ass. That's fine, though.
Okay.
This is just regular my internet being shit, not extra shit. But yeah, so there is another city, and it's actually bigger, but is... you know... different. Not connected to the rest of the world. Maybe you'll end up going to Udar one day, who knows.
Udar really sounds like a name that I want to chant.
Yeah, this was the place where, if you remember, Amaryllis was like, oh, I've actually been to some of these gnomish ruins before. There is a whole industry of exploring the gnomish ruins under Udar. And Ian's like, yeah, I remembered that. Fuck you all.
I remember that. I do.
Yeah, I know, I saw the look.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
I think Richter would at least want to get some rooms sorted, so that's out of the way. Because how long are we planning on staying here?
You have a lot of things you want to do, and any one of them could take a lot of time, right? You might want to, like, that might be the thing you do. You just stop off in this inn and you make a battle plan, right? Of course you're not going to get into any fights in the city.
Wait, we're mace murdering some people? Great! That's a classic.
It's a
Bell
classic.
strat right there.
You've spent all this time being like people out in nature and having a small community. You get to the city, you just immediately start murder hoboing.
We have connections to nature, not cities. I think Torren would, when you're like, oh, we should get rooms, Torren would be like, well, we've been on the road for a long time. And he would push for like, let's have a proper meal, something to drink, regain our strength. Look at it.
Valara would be all about that too. What?
Okay.
What?
He bruised his hand with
Look at my hand bruise.
with his
How
pole.
did you do that?
A man tried to stab me, and as the katana was coming for my throat, I went, and I caught it and turned it. And he went, Nani? And then...
So,
Oh my amor.
I knew it.
in time, you head towards the inn here, and this is large. This inn is like 2 to 3 times the size of the one in Balcutta. You know, it's got multiple stories. It's mostly stone, little bit of wood. You can see the fire already glowing out the windows. It's called the Bridge Troll Inn, and there is a like racist caricature of a troll. I don't know if you can be racist to trolls, but they sure as hell are trying. On their side.
Ollie? How are they being racist? And now you have.
They
to be
are
racist
exaggerating certain proportions of the troll, such as the droopy nose and ears and
really
beer
thought you were
belly.
gonna say something else.
Well, we managed
Pear
to do it
shaped.
for about 20 minutes.
They're
And
pear
it all
shaped.
fell apart.
It's like a baguette.
Look, I knew the second I mentioned that it was called the Bridge Troll Inn, someone would have something to say. But it's bustling. This comes up a lot in the other Jarviskjir games, but this is like a travelers, merchants inn. But this isn't for the sailors and people who've come all across the other side of the world. This is for mostly nomadic communities who've trekked across the mountains. So when you enter the inn, not only is it nice and warm from the big open hearth room down here, which has plenty of food, but there's a wide variety of peoples as well. All three types of Minotaur, the large mounted Minotaur, the slender city Minotaur who have grown up here in Shinebank and have kind of become smaller and more elven-like due to their desire to be like the elves. And then the sea Minotaur, which you haven't really encountered much of. They're sort of in between size-wise of the mountain Minotaur and city Minotaur. And they're sailors, pirates. They often dye their furs blues and other colors and things. So you can see clearly, like, which one around here is, like, a little pirate gang. And you can probably, like, work out which ship is kind of, like, slothed onto the shore is theirs there and stuff like that. As well as, you know, Borovar, which I don't know if you've actually encountered Borovar yet in this campaign. Who are...
Borovaring.
They are large, muscular, bald, stony-skinned humanoids who will immediately challenge you to any kind of drinking contest, or any contest possible. Coated in brilliant, colourful,
doing tonight.
geometric tattoos, and gnomes. You know, there's a healthy handful of gnomes, and you know, there would probably be, this is such a big tavern, you know, maybe the occasional goblin and like kobold and stuff like that. They might be at the heel of someone else. But this is a kind of melting pot, and it's a bit more of a melting pot because you haven't got into the city yet. And Shinebank is absolutely the kind of place that you can't get into too easily. So there might be some people here who couldn't pay to get in, have been kicked out, that sort of thing.
So Valara would point to the pirate, the stone skin pirate boys, and look at Richter and be like, "They look like you, except I actually want to hang out with them."
Sorry, I just got a text from Hannah and it looked bad, but it's not bad. So, repeat.
Valara would point to the ugly stone-skinned pirate men, and then say to Richter, "They look like you, except for I actually want to hang out with them." Elbow, elbow.
I'm going to start putting more weights in your bags.
Yeah, like
She accepts the burn. She respects it.
Most of the Borovar you see there are male, but when you see the female one, bigger muscles than the rest of them. It's currently, like, just trounced the other one in arm wrestling. Beer in the other hand that's just huge, because it's Minotaur servings.
Ollie says, "Don't get a beer, Neil," and then talks about beer endlessly.
I know, I didn't even think about that. This is the kind of tavern eating hall where there's, like, netting on the ceiling that has herbs and, like, garlic and all that sort of thing resting in it. There's a big, like, kitchen counter where you can order your food and drinks and things, where there's multiple peeps brewing and cooking and trading their coin, and also just, like, jewelry. You see one sea Minotaur go up and just take a ring off and trade it for like the last beer of the night, even though it's noon.
So, are we staying here? Or are we just eating here?
I don't really know. Where's a good place to stay?
This is an inn.
I'll go ask how much rooms are.
Good job. Right, yeah.
Solly, would I know if you, because you said it obviously it costs money to get in and out of Shinebank.
Yeah.
Does it cost money every time you go in and out, or can you like?
Because you've been in before. Usually every time you go in and out, depending who's on guard.
Okay.
There may or may not be an official toll. It might be bigger or smaller or food instead of gold, depending on who's on guard.
Right.
From what you know of the family who run Shinebank, As long as they're loyal, they're allowed to do whatever they want. So
Yeah.
quite a lot of
So-
them do that kind of thing.
Amrys would speak up and say, as we intend to mostly do our business in the city proper, I think it would be best to find somewhere to stay within the city proper. There is no official charge to get in and out, but the people who guard the gates are on a long leash. We might find ourselves being charged unnecessarily
Bribes.
if we stay out here.
I see. Then I would suppose maybe we can eat here and then head straight inside.
That would be wise, yes.
Okay.
Suppose that's as good a plan as any.
So, just so you know, when you go up to ask, most of their rooms are 5 silver a night. They do have cheaper rooms that are just like 2 silver. I know you've just said that you're not planning to stay, but I looked up the price. Food here, for a meal,
Maybe-
would be a Minotaur-sized meal would be 4 silver. You could maybe scooch it down to 3 if you're being sensible.
Maybe this is too preemptive of me, but let's say we go inside Shinebank, and then for some reason we need to leave Shinebank, but can't get back into Shinebank. Would it be shrewd of us to get just a room for like a few nights, just in case we need it and we can't get back in? So only 2 silver a night, and we're essentially loaded for us four right now.
Seems unlikely that the rooms are going to fill up that quick. I mean, it's busy, but not heaving.
There's almost always hearth space at inns in the event that they do fill up anyway.
Okay.
It'll still be a far cry from sleeping in the snow.
Better to save the money that we have. Maybe we'll end up needing it. Put it to use towards the village.
Just an idea.
Not a bad one.
Trying to prepare for the unexpected, because the unexpected tends to find us.
Here, here.
Well, I would like meat.
Me too.
Now you're speaking my language.
I was thinking maybe not a stew like we've been having for the past few months. Maybe
A whole chicken.
Or just-
Literally
entire
at that
pen.
time, at one of the other tables, put down is just a platter, which is just like a full roasted chicken, and you can smell the juices and the herbs on it.
Okay, Doxy wants to go to this bar now. I could eat a whole chicken in this
Same.
moment.
This campaign hasn't had enough
do you just
tavern
do you just
food
eat it?
descriptions.
Do you just detach the bottom jaw, dogs? Just...
Ah.
Yeah. You know
How-
the way.
How else do you eat roast chicken? Okay, excellent. You gonna buy a round of food for everyone?
Yeah.
That'll be
Absolutely.
what is that? 16 silver?
I thought you were about to say 16 gold, and I was about to like in this. I was like proper Tauren brain. I was like,
No, just 16 silver is still a lot, right? But
I'll just pay for it so that we don't have to do math.
banks,
Yeah.
guild bank, party bank.
big old
the person who keeps track of everything.
So I did. it for you,
Unfortunately,
Doxy.
you're the most sensible person here.
Who has pockets?
Yeah, I think Ian's sensible. He's just a fucking tree.
I feel like this has come up before. It's like
Yeah.
sensible one,
Are
but
we
he's
talking about
Yay!
Are we talking about Amaryllis or Ian here?
Soon enough, you sit at a little table with just the four of you. The chairs are made for bigger people than you, and so is the table. You get your roast chicken with all the trimmings. Although you know, it's a hearty amount of food. It is winter. There straight up is a sign. Actually, as you're being served this, the Minotaur lady who serves it's like, you're lucky you came when you did. Haven't gone to winter prices yet. You want drinks with this?
What are winter prices?
Well, once the whole horn's coated in snow, it's much harder to get fresh food, especially. So, sometimes charge double, even triple for a meal like this.
Right. I see. I think we'll all have a drink.
Right, what do you want? Ale, cider, whiskey, wine.
Yes.
We got our,
Fine.
Okay.
Wait,
I'll
you've
take
had
that
wine?
as a yes.
We'll have one of all of those.
Okay.
Now, is that perhaps a bit...
She
Perhaps
just
we
puts
should-
her hand over your mouth.
Yeah, like straight up pay like a gold and you'll have like one of each of everything, you know.
Villagers don't have this.
Soon, and it comes in multiple waves. There's a big flagon of frothy ale. Then you got your ciders. Then you got your whiskey and your wine. The wine is probably one of the lesser quality things in this tavern. The ale's really what you want. And then there's the special, which is actually served in a glass mug.
I thought it was going to come in a bucket.
No, you're not getting no bucket wine here. That is an elven thing, though. You might be able to get that in some of the more city elf taverns. The special is a very golden-looking beer or lager, and then straight up, they shuck an oyster into it. You down the whole thing.
Vile.
Alive or dead?
The oyster?
Yeah.
Depends
You
on how...
shuck it alive.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Ian's just imagining this glass with this lovely golden lager in, and then you just yeet a whole oyster in it. like shell and all.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining.
Yeah, brain did not register word properly.
No, I approve.
Yeah,
of that,
yeah,
actually.
totally.
The thing is, Amaryllis could do that as well because she's a tree. She's just going. "Ah."
Yeah.
No, it's shucked in there, and you see other people kind of. That's the tavern special, and you glug it all in one go.
Filth. I will not be Ing's creation in this manner.
I would like to think that we would be passing the drinks around, enjoying a
Oh,
little
absolutely.
of each one. Okay.
It's just they don't want that one. No one wants the special.
I've never had wine. I was interested in trying it.
She pushes the goblet towards you.
I thought you liked it. I've never had it as well. Or whiskey. Just ale.
Has Cornucopia ever had wine?
Well, yeah, I think so. It's used in some ritual stuff, maybe.
Griff has it sometimes.
Hmm.
You guys gotta
Okay.
come to Clearkeep with me more often, honestly.
Yeah, I enjoyed our last visit so much.
And they don't know that you're there. They're much more hospitable.
They did turn us into slaves.
Yeah, because they knew we were there.
If I know someone's there, I don't turn them into a slave. Just not really a done thing.
You gotta
I'd
hang
just
out
like
with
to-
my friends in Clear Creek. Oh my god. Clearkeep sometime. I'm so sorry.
Belle is already sloshed.
Constitution saving throw.
She's gone into drinky mode.
Amaryllis, do these drinks affect you? If you understand what I'm saying.
They can. doesn't elaborate.
Fair enough. Fair
That's
enough.
pretty much what we expect from Amaryllis.
Amaryllis doesn't does not really eat or drink, but like if you like push her to try anything, she would. But
She
she
did
doesn't,
about
like,
cut her. She had a swig.
Yeah, but she doesn't like unless you actually push her to do so. Then she doesn't really partake. She will just stand and
We'd
watch.
like to drink with Amy, because Amy is Amy.
Flashbacks to university.
These winter prices, does that also apply to rooms?
Good question.
You ask.
Why didn't you
they,
ask?
They
Because I
do.
wasn't there, I was sat down.
No,
I
you
wasn't at the bar.
can ask. Like when one of them comes past one of the bartenders. It's like sometimes if it's super busy.
Thanks.
Do you perceive this winter being particularly busy?
Like her eyebrows like crinkle in thought. She kind of like chews around for a bit. Hard to say. Can never really predict the winters. Probably going to be fine.
Thank you.
And they keep going on their way. Serving peeps.
He rolled deception, that's all. Don't worry. You failed.
He rolled to see if a magical dart of death hit Torin in the face, but he missed. So can't
But
you
he
release
caught
that
it
as-
with his hand, deflected it towards
Nani.
Richter.
That dexterity.
Didn't even react, just. Boom.
Anything else you'd like to do in the Bridge Troll Inn?
Bridge troll.
All these drinks that we bought, were they just in vessels or were they in like the actual containers? that
They're
bottles and
all
stuff?
in mugs or goblets or little cups. You didn't buy a They do
That's
seem
in
to
the
be
oyster
selling
one.
bottles of liquor and drink and things like that. And kegs.
Do you have a drink called the Troll Top?
No.
Damn. These guys.
You should get on their
losers.
like marketing team.
Yeah.
How much would a keg be?
Let's see. That'll take a little bit for me to look up. I do have a way to check that out.
Sorry.
No, it's a worthy ask. This is one of those places where you can pick up such kind of semi-abstract supplies, you know? Like, you could just buy a whole bunch of salt here if you wanted.
Top D.
We've just arrived, and while I appreciate that we should take a moment to enjoy ourselves, I think we shouldn't imbibe all of this. We should stay alert, is what I'm trying to say.
Why did you say imbibe?
Trying to sound. And I'll just drink.
If
Yeah,
you,
Torin will drink.
Balara was guzzling that whole time, not breaking eye contact when he was talking about how much we shouldn't be drinking it.
if you wish to celebrate our safe arrival, we could stay here for a night only and go into the city tomorrow. That would solve any problems of lack of ability to concentrate.
Probably a good shout. Be nice to stay somewhere we already know, have a nice cooked breakfast, and guards on in the morning probably won't be drinking, well, you know, mischief in daylight, mischief at night. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, yes. Okay. Well, I will go buy the rooms
Great. And
You
another
can get
round?
the cheap ones if you want. It will still be better than sleeping in the snow.
Torin, you were saying?
Oh, he looks a little bit guilty because she's like, get the cheap ones, and he's like, another round.
Another round is absolutely in order.
Maybe we should get something Amaris would like.
Do not concern yourself with such things for me. I appreciate the thought, but they hold no great succor for me.
Well, what about a little bit of honey? Like, dip a stick in it and lick it. Bees like that, don't they? I think that'd do the trick. You ever tried it?
I have not tried that precise method. I have lived many seasons. I have tasted most of your beverages and foodstuffs in my time.
What about honey?
She thinks for like a minute. Yes, it has been a long time, but I believe I tried it once.
Might give you a burst of strength, a little bit of energy, help you pick those knees up, which you may not have.
Amaris is just looking vaguely confused at this point, but looks to, assuming Richter is like sort of doing that thing where you hang on the table waiting for a conversation before you go to the bar. We'll just sort of look to Richter and say, you may purchase me a honey if you wish. Torin seems rather insistent.
You need a stick with it. An eating stick.
She has plenty.
That is,
Drink.
that is bad.
I can't find
okay.
the keg prices I used to have.
He walks up to Barney. He's like, "Oh yeah, can I get a couple of drinks? I want just a little bit of honey and a stick." they're like,
Is that the equivalent of going to a checkout at like a supermarket with a cucumber and some Vaseline?
Yeah, you may be asking for something that you don't want to buy. No,
God,
you
can you imagine
do.
doing that?
It'll probably be 2 silver for a little bottle of honey.
Sold
Nice.
for 2 silver.
I used
2
to
silver
Man with
to
the
the
jar of
boring
honey.
man.
I used to have a website that was every mundane fucking thing you would ever need in D&D gold prices, and I can't find
Just
it.
like the word Neil written 75 times.
Neil is
That's every mundane thing I can
beyond mundane.
Isn't that
He's
like your
he's a
music
good
notes?
boy.
But Neil.
My
Right, a
soul,
song called
my
Neil.
heart.
I'm his muse. He doesn't realize it yet, but one day he will. And then he'll write a song that will be called "It Was You."
It was you all along. That's just Reverse Flash. That's what that is. One person out there got that joke, and they was like, "Oh, Ollie, that's a very smart and present pop culture joke about a plot twist in a comic book 15 years ago." So you bought some honey? I'm trying to pay attention, but
Stick.
there's honey now.
It's a non-spiky stick, preferably smooth.
Yeah, you asked for honey and a piece of dowel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which I give you because, like I said, this is kind of the place where you can buy a lot of food supplies for your journey as well. Because, well, you could buy them over at the general store over there, but why couldn't you buy them here when you're drunk and you want the things and they just charge you more?
Damn.
Wait, how much was the
I
dollar?
found it!
Because Amaryllis could just snap off an eyebrow and then grow it back, and use her eyebrow to eat the honey.
You ever tried eating honey with your eyebrows?
There's
Yeah, but
this
I'm not
is
a tree.
this is why I found this, because it gives different types of barrels for the keggery, just like fucking the old Sunday show.
God damn, there's too many different types of barrels.
A hand keg is 1 silver, filled with cider, or whatever drink of choice aside from wine. A 12-gallon cask is 4 silver. A barrel of a 30-gallon barrel is 1 gold, and you can get bigger ones. You can buy a butt, which is 100 gallons. I know
My
Doxy
God.
might be interested in buying a butt. That is 35 silver. And you have a sleigh. You know, you could take
100
that back.
gallons is too much for a poor wolf.
So when Richter's at the bar and the bartender's just relayed all the information to him, he'd go, I don't know what to... Balara!
They even have honey on here.
We need honey.
We've
Oh,
got
yeah.
honey.
You bought the
A
honey.
room.
Yeah,
What
the
size
rooms-
barrel
No.
do you want?
What size barrel?
We're not even gonna get it until the way out. Why
But
would we
what about
lug up?
winter prices?
You could earmark one and they can give it to you on the way out. That might be easier.
Yeah, like they'll do that. They'll charge us double.
While I'm here, I'm-
medium-sized keg, please.
Why don't we get a barrel? That'll
Yeah.
keep Griff going for a while, hopefully.
Yeah, a 1 gold barrel of ale. Donk.
You're paying for it though.
Of course.
So here is a question. What have you been doing with the sleigh this whole time? We've been in here drinking and eating.
We will have to stable it
Yeah.
and keep the wolf with us. There's like
Like right now, I assumed like you're like within window eye distance of it, right? You've left.
I'm
You
really
parked. You
Like,
double
"Oi!"
parked it outside
Bang on the window.
on the-
Stay away!
Parked on the double yellow lines.
Yeah. I think we need to stable it somewhere rather than drag it with us everywhere. And I'm not sure about bringing the wolf into the city myself.
Yeah, even though it is a
It
tame
likes
wolf,
us, but it's still a wild
it's a
animal.
it's a whole thing. Just so you know, war elephants.
And they need to be free.
1,000 gold.
What's 1,000 gold?
A war elephant.
I'll have one of them, please.
Yeah, got them at sale at the tavern counter.
Yeah.
Is the like one of the lands around Shinebank are fairly hilly? Yeah, are they
Mountainous.
mountainous? Yeah. So theoretically, are they like reasonably forested and like, or is it just
No, it's a sort of sparse place when it comes to forests.
Do you only
All
want
of Mother's
dump our
Horn
wolf in
is-
hunting lands as well?
Well, no, I mean it's just a thought.
You
like,
definitely could, you know, let Saffron the wolf kind of fend for itself out, and there's enough beasties and things. You know, it lived in a similar area. So,
The thing is, if we have anything that requires a sleigh and the wolf is gone or dead, we're going to have to buy some form of oxen or horse to bring it.
we
So I
probably
think it
should
might-
do that anyway.
It might be
It would
worth.
benefit the village
It
so
seems
much
like-
to have a horse.
not only would there be some sale of those kind of animals out here, you'd also willing to bet there's probably a really big like livestock market inside the city. It's the kind of thing that's actually pretty massive in cities.
So we've been coming in on a road, and we're now on a bridge right before the gate. We're like close enough to a window. We can keep an eye on the sleigh. If I watch out the window and I look at the comings and goings, can I see anyone else of equally strange animals, or is it all actual?
Oh, good question. I don't even think this is a perception check. Some people enter the city with yaks. Yaks are the main beast of burden, or yak-like animals that I can't think of because I'm not worldly enough. Horses are pretty uncommon. People have horses if they're trying to be fancy, because horses are just not applicable to the terrain. Like, you could actually do horses pretty okay in Green Valley, but trying to get them anywhere else wouldn't be ideal. So it's mostly people with, like, beasts of burden. People with dogs as well. A lot of people with dogs. And you actually do see someone who has, like, cages of, like, birds and things and animals that they caught. You don't see anyone bringing in a wolf. But you think you could probably explain it. You'd probably have to pay to get the wolf in.
Yeah, there may be a kennel.
Yeah, the other thing is that, like, I kind of imagine that dogs in, particularly Mother's Horn, would have to be
They're a little...
quite
They're the more wildy...
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
but the more
breeds.
wildy ones are like wolfhounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we basically say, yeah, he's got, yeah, this one, we hope we find a dumb guard and be like, yeah, this one's got a bit of wolf in him.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, you
just
could
a big
totally do
dog.
that because people are getting in with their wolves and their
Stands
dogs
like
and stuff.
literally up to like halfway up your body. It's just a big dog.
We feed him real good.
Yeah, you could probably quite easily do that. The thing you wouldn't be entirely sure how Saffron would deal with that because the city is a very different environment for a wild creature. And I think Amaryllis would think about that, and so would
Yeah,
Belle.
Those cats.
But
have
you
gotta
could
be free.
probably get away with that if you wanted to do it. But then you'd have to keep feeding it.
Yeah, it's definitely not fair to, like, put him in a kennel. He's a wild animal. He's helping us out of free will. Like, to me, it's either... To me, we let him roam free in the area outside, or we bring him with us as a friend. One of the
You
two.
can
ask
communicate.
him
You can
what
communicate
he
with him
wants.
properly, right? So
I can ask him, yeah.
why don't we make a suggestion? We can, rather than stabling him somewhere, we can go away from the city a little bit tomorrow morning. There will be some form of farmer, whether that is a livestock farmer or not, and we can say, look, we want you to put food out for our wolf every day, and in return, Amaryllis can say, food's going to be here for you, don't eat this livestock, and just stick around, come back here every day, check in, get your food.
So it seems a pretty good suggestion.
Yeah, that could work.
And tell it to monitor the city gates every day. We can wait for it.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
city
If it's
gates when
checking
it's
in,
time for us to go.
if it's checking in every day, you can then
Guards might get a
wait
bit
to get
antsy
it.
if they see a wolf
Yeah.
staring at them every day. He's back.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. You can try and sort that out tomorrow. I think this is a good time to take a little break. You can think of anything else you'd like to do before you sleep, while you go to the bathroom. Good place to think. We all know it.
So D&D, it's taking us an hour and we're not even in the city yet.
I knew! I know these things. You know, I had to give you a little charming...
I blame Dean.
It's also, it makes sense. There's a lot of people who just can't get into the big cities, so there's this little city. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute.
Burbs.